everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm Deziel and today I'm showing you how to do this raised neck. And for this first raised neck, I decided to show you the technique on the knit fabric because it will be easier. As usual, the first thing we'll do is to trace all around the block. This is my t-shirt block and this is already a pattern since the seam allowance are already included. That's why when I trace in the area that I will work, so shoulder and neckline, I decide to use a pen. Now, just like I was saying, I'm going to be working in this area. So now I will trace my inside line or my seam line parallel to the contour line inside with the value of my seam allowance, 7 millimeter or 5/16 of an inch. I ask you to trace the inside line because my measurements are going to be from these lines. Then I'm going to ask you to elongate your center back line towards the top. Now for the raised neck, we're going to move the point neckline and shoulder. And to do that, first we will trace 90 degrees from the center back, touching that neckline and shoulder point. You could trace just for a little while. Now we're going to place the ruler square on the new line. Push the ruler towards the side seam about 2 centimeters or 3/4 of an inch. Then you're going to trace dotted line until 6.5 centimeters. Now you're going to take your ruler and place it 90 degrees with your center back. Touch the new point. Then you're going to drop the ruler about 1 centimeter or 3/8 of an inch. Then you could trace for about 3 cm or 1.5 inches. Then we could take the French curve and connect both the 6.5 centimeter and the 3 centimeter line. What we have left to do is to connect in a nice soft line the top of the neck to the shoulder. And just to help you as a guide, I suggest that you touch the top point with your ruler and just move the bottom about 1 centimeter or 3/8 of an inch and trace, let's say, 2/3 of the distance. And next we're going to continue the line with a little curve touching the shoulder line. We're now going to put back the seam allowance at the shoulder and the side of the collar here. For the top part where your head is going to go through, for this one I recommend a self-fold facing. A facing is usually 5 centimeters or 2 inches. So what we'll do is trace parallel to the top part, 5 centimeters or 2 inches. Now I'm going to just separate my two pattern pieces. And to complete my pattern, I'm going to first fold on this top line. I want you to notice that I didn't fold all the way because this is a curved line, very light but curved line. I just fold on this last part and I'm going to right away cut on my shoulder line with the collar that goes up. Now I could just continue the cutting of my pattern piece. Don't forget that the contour line is now the top part of the facing. Now my back is finished. It's still going to be cut on fold because it's done in a knit fabric. My basic notch remain. The only thing that I will need to add is a notch to say where to fold the facing of the neck or the collar. Now that the back is finished, I'm going to flip my back pattern so I could report my contour line on my front. Just remember that the seam allowance are already included into my front. Just like we did for the back, I'm going to ask you to elongate the center front towards the top. Now, depending on the block you're using, it is possible that they're both exactly the same. It's also possible that they're a little bit different. It doesn't matter. What I'm going to ask you is to put your armhole and shoulder one over the other and hold it at the seam line point intersection, and move your block until both center front and center back, they are parallel. When it's in position, you could trace the side of the collar with the shoulder and the top part. There you go, your front piece is complete and the piece is still unfold because we're using stretch fabric. I just have to cut all around. Before to let you go, I want to add little information about those measurements that I gave you. You could change them a bit, especially the one where I raise. Here I give you a measurement of 6.5 centimeter or 2.5 inches. This is a high collar. You could do it halfway if you want. It would still be very nice and more discreet. The other measurement is where I enlarged the neck. Here I did 2 centimeter or 3/4 inch, and I would say this is pretty standard. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to share my video, and I see you next time.